Alright guys, welcome to the stream. Today we have the Turkish Grand Prix qualifying week, qualifying sessions. 3 qualifying sessions as usual. There's no sprint qualifying to be seen this weekend. And it's looking rather exciting because if you guys remember to 2 weeks ago, we had the Russian Grand Prix. And the qualifying conditions there, we had standing water on the track and a lot of greasy, slippy, slidey corners. And that is exactly what we have this weekend in Istanbul. Last week, well, 2 weeks ago, it poured it down in the morning. This week it poured it down overnight, and yeah, it's just looking good for another what would you call it? Exciting qualifying session like we had 2 weeks ago with George Russell in P2 2 weeks. So we'll see what happens today. Hello, Catalyst Will G. Green Car Designs, Jean, Paul, Samut, Chronos 3000. Very much looking forward to this. On expected qualifying pace, we had the Mercedes on top yesterday, but that was in the dry conditions. So today the track is a lot wetter, so we will see what actually goes on. Yesterday Mercedes were top, but today the Mercedes have no pace whatsoever, and it's very much switched around. So the Red Bulls are on top, and yesterday the Red Bulls were slow. So we'll wait and see what happens in qualifying today. Hello, Kiez and Siddharth. Nice to see you back. It's going good. I mean, last week for the past week, I was sort of ill. So if my voice does sound a bit weird, then that is why. But yeah, other than that, I've got better now, so I can commentate properly without having a horrible voice. And yeah, the Turkish 2020 qualifying, but they have fixed the circuit. So last year, if you guys do remember, the circuit had no grip whatsoever, and everyone was slipping and sliding around because they newly resurfaced the track. And what goes on when you resurface the track is there's loads of little particles of not concrete, I think, but I think I'm not sure exactly what it is, but there's loads of rocks, and then you stick them together with a sort of oily thing, and because the F1 cars are so powerful and stuff, they drove over the freshly resurfaced concrete, and all of the oil leaked up, and that made it very, very slippy indeed. So they've fixed that. They've water blasted the track, and it's looking good. Thank you everyone for the nice messages in the chat. I am feeling better, so yeah, asphalt, that's the right word. Alright, so they fixed that, so the track conditions are they're expected to be pretty consistent throughout the whole qualifying session and the weekend, and it's good. So Carlos Sainz has got an engine penalty for a full engine change, so he's changing every single part of his engine, so the battery, the MGU-K, MGU-H, and the internal combustion engine. So he's going to start 20th on the grid. And then we have Lewis Hamilton, who is taking a 10-place grid penalty because he is replacing the internal combustion engine in his car. Internal combustion engine, so he's only replacing one part of it rather than the entire engine. So that's why he's taking 10 places grid penalty rather than the 20 that Max Verstappen took. And that's why Hamilton, even if he does get pole position today, will be starting P11. So the highest Hamilton can start is 11th place, which is not the best for his championship fight. We'll have to see if he can recover up and score some points and make sure Verstappen doesn't get too big of a lead. Also, guys, we are very, very close to hitting 10,000 subscribers. I'm just going to have a live sub count, in fact, because very, very close indeed. Oh, we're 1,180 away. So, yeah, if we do hit that today or tomorrow, that'll be very, very cool. Go Max. Well, we've got 15 minutes till qualifying begins, so we'll just go through every single driver. We have 20 drivers, enough time. So, Pierre Gasly, he has just been, what I was meant to say, what a drive in FP3. He had put it on top, he hooked up an amazing lap in the wet conditions. The conditions were slowly and slowly getting better, and then Pierre Gasly just got it all together at the right time and stuck it on first place in FP3. So he is looking good for the wet conditions today. Wasn't that good last weekend in Russia, so he must have done some simulator work over the 2-week break to like learn how to drive in the wet, of course. So definitely paid off for him. Verstappen in a close second with Perez right behind him. So it's looking good for the Red Bulls. Perez has also got some more pace. And Perez, Red Bull have desperately need Perez to score some more points, because even though Max is only 2 points behind Hamilton in the championship, Red Bull are still losing the Constructors' Championship by a significant margin. So Red Bull need to do Sergio Perez needs to do the most, a lot of work to try and get up above Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton to outscore Mercedes every single weekend till the end of the season if they were going to win the converters and the drivers. I'm doing good. Couldn't get the tyre temp. All right, yeah. So last year, what had happened was Lewis Hamilton was 5 seconds off the pole lap time, and that's solely the only reason that happened was because the Mercedes could not get the correct tyre temperature whatsoever for the entirety of the entire qualifying session last year, and that is why he was 5 seconds off the pace. And the Racing Points, or the Aston Martins of this year, they had switched up their setup to maximize tyre heating, and they'd got the correct tyre temp, and then they just went out and set an amazing lap. Both Perez and Stroll set an amazing lap, and both first and second, the pink Mercedes locked out the front row. Does it feel like the weather's getting better or worse? The weather's definitely getting better. So it rained overnight, so there was just water on the track. There's been no rain since all morning. It's cloudy, but it doesn't look like it's going to rain. And so we just have standing water like we did in Sochi. Nothing else to talk of. No more actual raindrops falling, as in, yeah, no more of them. Also, we do have the new Red Bull livery, which I want to show you guys a picture of. It's actually in the thumbnail, so you probably would have seen it when you clicked on the video, but it's a very, very cool thumbnail indeed. Not thumbnail, very, very cool car. So, yeah. Oh, Omar Cohen, I was talking about qualifying, not the race. But, yeah. I mean, Perez still did a very good job last year as well. Actually, in fact, on the TV feed, we see Crofty with all of his data and how he's commentating, which is very cool indeed. Hopefully, maybe I could do that someday. Crofty with all of the technical info that he's got. All right. So standing water across the track or in specific spots. Well, the racing line is now dry. So the racing line is dry, but the rest of the track is still wet. All right, so let's have a look at this. Can you see that? Oh no, it's covered up. Okay, I'll try and get a different image. That just looks very cool, doesn't it? I'll try and get rid of that. In fact, I think it's this one. Oh no, this one. There you go. That just looks very cool. Can I find a good image? So that's the new livery for the Red Bull. It looks very cool indeed, and I hope I wish they kept it for longer. It's only this race only though. And yeah, that's the livery. But Red Bull's livery is very, very cool. Oh, was Max P2? Oh, okay. I don't remember exactly. As I remember, Stroll got P1 and then Perez put it P2. But then I guess Max must have come third and then got Max must have come up behind Perez and got second place instead. So yeah, I guess you could fact check me. It's totally fine. If it rains tomorrow, Gasly will win. I don't think so. Gasly definitely does have pace, but will he be able to maintain it throughout the entire race? That's the question. Max's FP3 360 reminds of his Interlagos wet drift. Yeah, well, Max has amazing car control, as we all know. That's why he can drive the Red Bull and be outscoring his teammate 2-1. Sergio Perez on 120 points, Max Verstappen on 244.5 points. So double the points Sergio Perez has scored. So Max Verstappen, absolutely insane car control for him. And it's going to pay out, well, it's going to be very important in the wet conditions today. It is clear conditions and the track is drying out. There's only now 9 minutes left till qualifying, and we'll find out if the teams decide to go on slicks or on the inters. But yeah, predicting a shock Kimi podium for this race. Well, we'll find out what happens. And also, guys, if you haven't liked the stream, be sure to do so, because very much going to help out the channel. And yeah, Kronos 3000, thank you for the $5 donation. I don't know exactly which currency that is, but thank you so much. Very much do appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. And also, if you join the Discord server, there's like a specific chat for people who've donated and stuff, and moderators. So be sure to join that. Join the Discord server. The link is in the description, so go ahead and have a look at that. Now, just looking at Carlos Sainz, he was having, a lot of people were going off track limits yesterday. Aussie dollar. Oh, I see. Well, thank you from cheers, mate. I guess I don't know much like Australian slang, as you guys probably already know. But yesterday, everyone was going all over the track limits at turn 1 and turn 9. And with the wet curbs... Oops, sorry about that, guys. With the wet curbs, it's going to be very, very slippy indeed. So the drivers are going to be risking it if they do decide to go on the curbs whatsoever. Looking at today's FP3, I watched FP3 today, and Gasly was millimeters off like the dry line, basically. And I mean, no, not Gasly. It was Sainz and Leclerc. Both Ferraris were millimeters off the dry racing line. And whenever they dipped a wheel onto the wet racing line, they got either a whole massive bunch of oversteer or a whole massive bunch of understeer. So it's very important to stay on the dry racing line. As we saw Germany 2019, Valtteri Bottas going through turn 1 on, I didn't remember which lap it was, but he dipped a wheel onto the wet racing line, and then the whole car spun around and he had a very big crash. So as we all know, it's very important to stay on the dry racing line. And Anthony Davidson's just going through on the Skypad. There's like 12 different replays of drivers going all over the wet curbs and getting a bunch of oversteer. Yep, we had, who's driving number 10? Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly had a spin as well, going all over the wet curb. So it's going to be important to see. By the looks of it, there is no chance of rain. It is quite a ways away. Like, it's probably half an hour away. Oh no, more than half an hour, in fact. Yeah, it won't hit qualifying. Unless qualifying's delayed, it won't rain anymore. Hello, C Paul. Nice to see that you're back. And what are the P1 and P2 thing? Don't know exactly what you're talking about, but yeah, if you send another chat message explaining, then sure. So there's no rain predicted unless there is a delay. The risk... Oh, okay, so the FIA have just said risk of rain is 100%, but they're not talking about risk of rain, they're talking about risk of water on track. So the risk of water on track is definitely 100%, but the risk of rain actually falling from the sky is quite unlikely. You lost brain cells reading that. Right, cool. What track do I like more, Yas Marina or Monaco? Yas Marina is definitely a more exciting circuit than Monaco, in basically every single way possible. So, yeah, Yas Marina is my favourite, well, more favourite compared to Monaco. And, okay, so the next sprint race that we're going to have is in Brazil, by the way, so it's quite a ways away. And, yeah, so if you guys didn't like the sprint qualifying, it's not on this week, and it's not on for the next few races as well. But this is it now. 5 minutes till qualifying begins, and it's going to be very, very interesting indeed. The drivers that are looking, well, the drivers that are going to have a tough time Valtteri Bottas last year had a absolutely horrific weekend. He spun, I think, 6 times in the race. And yeah, 6 times. I mean, Seb Vettel gets a load of stick for spinning like 6 times over the course of the 2018 and 2019 season. But Valtteri Bottas spun 6 times in one race. So he had an absolute shocker of a weekend here last year, especially in the wet. So if he will definitely want to improve on that. And yeah, we'll see if he can do that, because the wet conditions are going to be difficult to master today. And Gasly qualified 4th here last year, and he topped FP3. So I'm gonna put, if there's a surprise top 3, I think it will be Pierre Gasly. Do you like the circuit? The circuit is very interesting indeed, and there's quite a lot of overtaking opportunities as well. So I do like this circuit. Yeah. Give me a sec, guys. I need to change the stream title to Q1 has started, and then I will begin the commentary. Oops, Q1 started. Right, there we go. It's a very gritty track. I don't think it's that. It's actually quite interesting that all of the, well, turn 8, very, very exciting indeed, especially in the wet conditions. It's going to be very treacherous for any driver to try and go flat. Turn 8's an amazing corner. Turn 1, loads of overtaking opportunities. And then going down the back straight as well, you always have DRS and the chance to overtake, which makes it a lot better. Interlagos or Catalonia? Interlagos for sure. Yeah. Alright then. So I would suggest getting some popcorn, because this is going to be one interesting qualifying session. 2 minutes and 50 seconds till it begins. Okay. Looking down the further down. See, in tomorrow's race, I think there's going to be, Hamilton is going to have a very, very tough time trying to overtake everyone and get all the way up, because, oh my god, what was I saying? I've just forgot what I was saying. Actually, just never mind. So, welcome along to qualifying in Turkey 2021 Turkish Grand Prix at Istanbul Park. Round 16 of 22 Formula 1 races this year, and Istanbul is Istanbul seems like a very cool place to visit. I haven't personally gone, but yeah, the circuit is very good. I think the circuit's, hello Ivan as well. Oh my god, I'm so all over the place. The circuit is 3.3 miles long, and the top speed's 200 miles an hour, and average speed is 150 miles an hour over the entire circuit, which is very, very high. There's a 40-meter elevation change all over the circuit, so lots of elevation changes and uphill, downhill sections, which really spices things up for the race and wet conditions. Turn 1 and Turn 7, very big overtaking zones, as we all know, and the hairpins, which are very important to get right in the wet. We'll see what lines the drivers will be taking, and then the final few corners, Turn 12, 13, 14, provide a lot of action with the slow, twisty, turny, tight sections at the end of the lap. We have the soft, medium, and hard tyres, which are the C4, C3, C2 tyres, the usual tyres that we have. And the gap between the two tyres is 0.6 of a lap. So 0.6 of a second, sorry, not 0.6 of a lap. And the teams think that there's more rain coming. So we have team radio from Pierre Gasly. I'm going to play this. Here we go.
Rain is coming.
Right, well, they've just been told rain is coming, and on the helicopter shot, I see one singular raindrop. So there is actually a chance of rain, apparently. I didn't think so looking at the radar, but I'm obviously not a weatherman or a meteorologist. But anyway, 5 seconds now till lights go green, and we will see what tyres everyone decides to go out on, and the gap, well, what tyres everyone goes out on, and everything, really. So here we go. The session has started. Green light is out. Drivers are coming out of the pit lane. as we speak. Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, the Ferraris, both Williams, and the Red Bulls are also getting ready to leave as well. Everyone's getting ready to leave because they need to get out as soon as possible, but just in case it rains, to get a quick lap time in. Both Mercedes are also coming out and queuing up. So once they all cross the first sector line, we'll find out all of the info on which tyres they're on and everything. All right. The tyre info hasn't come through yet, which is quite important. But by the looks of it, everyone else is on soft tyres. So everyone's on softs except... Oh no, no one's on inters, in fact. Everyone's on softs now, and they think that they can manage it on the softs. We'll wait and see what happens if anyone does spin, because conditions are very treacherous out there with the wet... Well, with a lot of wet patches and chances of there being rivers as well. So just an update on the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull are 33 points behind Mercedes. So Sergio Perez is going to have to get a shuffle along if Red Bull want to win the championship for both of them. We have team radio from Lewis Hamilton. Let's see what he has to say. And the map the map's low. Ooh, I don't know what's happened to the map. I think it might be broken. Wait, one sec.
Just be careful with those track limits. Just need a nice clean lap.
Yeah, so they just want a nice clean lap. Okay, the map is working. I think it just glitched out a bit. So it will come back in like 10 seconds or so. As you can see, they're all moving down the track now. Okay. They just need to be careful of track limits, because you don't want to get a lap deleted, which would have been quicker to get you through into Q2, but you didn't do it because you pushed a bit too hard. So everyone is queuing up, or everyone's rain lights are on as well. F1 cars look very, very cool, especially with the rain lights. There is no traffic on track. There are drivers out on track, but the track is quite long. I think it was 3.3 miles, so there's enough space for all 20 drivers to space themselves out properly enough. But this is Formula 1 and they never do that, so we'll wait and see what actually happens. All right then. Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Latifi, everyone's coming out. No one's in the garage. Everyone has decided to come out. We'll start off looking at Latifi's times, and then we'll have the Haas cars, then the Haas, then the AlphaTauris, then Hamilton, the Ferraris, Bottas, McLarens. Oh, we have a yellow flag. Why do we have a yellow flag? Ooh, I don't know. Someone might have had I think it might have been Carlos Sainz. Yep, Carlos Sainz had a little spin. So yeah, need to watch out for that. Alright, yeah, Kies, that is very, very unfortunate. The fact that you have to stay up to 1 AM to watch all of these races and quali. And I guess, but there are also many perks to living in Australia, living in Australia is very cool. So I guess you have that going for you. But Latifi starts his lap now. We'll see if they go for a double warm-up, because that might be the ideal strategy. But Latifi is out on track. He has a lot of traffic coming up. He has Perez, Ocon, Alonso, Stroll, Verstappen, all coming up as traffic. So everyone's need to get out of the way appropriately. And Vettel is the last man out on track. Everyone else is beginning their lap. So Vettel will make sure to watch everyone, to be on the correct side of the track and let everyone go through. Otherwise, he will get a penalty. We have team radio from Daniel Ricciardo. Let's play this.
Turn 1 is slightly wet in entry.
Yeah, so this is what they're talking about. The turn 1 is very, very slippy, and obviously you don't want to mess up the first corner of the lap, so it's just ideal to go a bit careful. Lewis Hamilton as well, getting tons of understeer, going off the track, going onto the curb, and as we all know, the curb is slippy, so he had a pretty horrendous turn 1. Let's see if he can recover going through all of the other corners. But there are wet patches everywhere, and it's important not to damage your car or aquaplane off the wet patches. Alright then, so we have Nicholas Latifi. He is setting... George Russell goes first place, as expected. Then is Lando Norris with the 1:28. George Russell's quicker than Lando Norris. George Russell once again, Mr. Saturday, absolutely amazing performance from him. Already quicker than Lando Norris in the Williams. So good job from George Russell. Carlos Sainz is having he had quite a few issues. And he has just said the tyres were too cold, which is fair enough, in fact, because when you're in the wet, it's very important to have tyre temperature. When you're coming out of the pits and you're queuing up there, your tyres lose every single bit of temperature that they had in the pit lane. So, not the best conditions. Not the best for him, but he's now back on his way out on track. Max Verstappen has also had a spin. He did a perfect 360. Oh no, he didn't. Well, he did just more than a 360, like a 350. Oh no, a 400-degree spin. Lewis Hamilton's lost it, went off track limit, so he might get his lap time deleted. But Verstappen had a spin previously and has now set another lap time and goes first place. Then we have Hamilton in P2, 4 tenths behind him. Bottas has recovered very, very well from last year, and he's only a tenth behind Lewis Hamilton now. So third place for Valtteri Bottas. Amazing performance from Danny Rick. He has... he's really took that Monza victory and carried on that momentum, and up in fourth place now, quite a lot in front of his teammate. I just need to get my mic settings right. Okay, this is probably better. All right, so Verstappen's going another flying lap, sets a purple first sector. Hamilton beats him, so track conditions are improving rapidly here. Gasly goes up into second place. Amazing performance from him, as we always expect. Very much carrying the AlphaTauri team. Haas and... both Haas cars have gone into the pits, most likely to refuel again, and then we have Valtteri Bottas up in first place. So track conditions are very rapidly improving. Kronos 3000 want to make a bet, but if you lose, you don't lose anything. But if Max tops qualifying, you'll donate $20 dues. Well, if I'm not going to lose anything, sure, why not? Anyway, Lando Norris goes up, so this is very much just constant improvement on the track. Whoever crosses the line goes up and gains a load of places. So it's just looking good for... It will reach a point, though, where track conditions don't improve anymore, and then that will be important to set a very good lap time then. So we have Valtteri Bottas up in first place now. He is, only a tenth quicker than Norris, and Verstappen is right on Norris's tail. Hamilton goes into fifth place. Alonso sets a mega lap going up into fourth. Latifi's still in sixth, and Russell's down in 15th. So Latifi's had a very, very good lap indeed. No traffic for him whatsoever. And then next across the line, we will have Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, and Kimi Räikkönen. Let's see what they can do. Leclerc, green first and second sector, now comes across the line. He goes up into fifth place. Good luck from him. The Ferraris and Alpines are looking very, very strong, and the McLarens, in fact. So Hamilton, starting P11 tomorrow, or P11 or lower, is going to have a very tough time overtaking the Alpines and the Ferraris, which is going to be difficult for him. But Lewis Hamilton is a 7-time world champion, so we'll see what he can do. Bottas still maintains his fastest lap, and in fact improves on it. Still going quicker, so now a tenth quicker than his previous lap. So Bottas put in a lot of work last year after his horrific weekend in Istanbul, and now he is back in first place. Let's see if he can hold on to this till the end of the first qualifying session and continue the strong pace throughout. But he is currently top. We have team radio from Max Verstappen. Let's play this. Here we go.
Okay, mode 2, keep pushing. Mode 2, keep pushing. That's P1. Mode 5 when you can.
So yeah, the team radio came through that Verstappen was P1 and he's already down to P3, so that just shows you how much the track is improving. We're down to the 1-minute 25s. In FP3 we're in the 1-minute 30s. Yuki Tsunoda has gone off track, had a bit of a crash, not crash it. He's had a bit of an issue at turn 1 and just gone straight on. Carlos Sainz is in last place, but he's about to finish his lap now. But I don't think he's having a very good lap, to be honest. Oh no, he's on his lap now, but right. We'll see what his first sector time is. So he's crossing the line, going into turn 7. He's green first sector, so he is improving, Carlos Sainz. He just hasn't set a proper lap because he's spun at the start, so that's why he's at the bottom. And he has a grid place penalty. He has a 20-place grid penalty anyway, so it doesn't particularly matter. And then we have yellow flag again, so someone else might have spun. Might be Mazepin, he's going slowly, but who knows. Pierre Gasly up into P1, amazing job from him. He set purple first sector, a full second quicker than Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. Then Leclerc goes into second place. Bottas has got his top spot stolen away. He's down to P3, and Verstappen is in the pits. So a lot of action going on, and it's just qualifying. Imagine what tomorrow's race is going to be, because there's also rain predicted for tomorrow's race, and also predicted for the night before, so it's going to be very wet. Yeah, it's going to be very wet tomorrow, and it's just going to be very interesting to see. Sainz is going to start last anyway, so he might as well just drive around a bit and see what he does. He's up into 11th place, Carlos Sainz, and yeah. What's up with Perez? I don't know. I don't think he's just hasn't been able to hook up the lap like Verstappen. As we all know, the Red Bull car is very oversteery. And yeah, he's down in 14th place, and with raindrops on track. I've seen more raindrops on the cameras. Track conditions will be likely getting worse. We have team radio from Max Verstappen again. Let's listen to this. Here we go.
Max, what's the condition of the tyres like? If we come in for a refuel, what's the condition of the tyres like? Do you think you could go out in the same set if we had to?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, copy that. Thank you.
Yep, so Christian Horner thinks that they can just go out the same set of tyres. Max Verstappen thinks they're going on the same set of tyres, so he's alright, he's up in 6th place, and in Q1 at least, they only need to be out of the bottom 5, so not that much of an issue. Kronos has donated another $2 Australian. Well, thank you for the donation, Kronos 3000. You're scared for Max Verstappen 33. Well, he's not using the fresh set of tyres, shouldn't be an issue for him because he's very, very good at, very good at in the wet. So with the raindrops falling on track now, track conditions will be getting wetter and wetter, and the pace will not be improving. So Hamilton sets a purple, Bottas sets a purple first sector, and Hamilton sets the green sector. It's not very often that you hear me say that, because Hamilton's usually the one setting the purple sectors, but here we are. Hamilton sets a purple second sector. We'll see what Bottas can do. He's right behind him. Everyone else on track is not finding any improvement whatsoever, so it looks like the Mercedes are going to have a lot of advantage in the dry conditions because they're still improving their times now, but everyone else is going to have an advantage in the wet. So we'll see what the race is tomorrow. We'll see what happens here. So Valtteri Bottas goes a green middle sector, so not as quick as Hamilton, 2 tenths behind him in fact, and we'll see what happens in overall. So he's about to come out the final corner now, and we'll see what his lap time is, crossing the line, pushing the track limits to the limits, and he goes 88 milliseconds behind Lewis Hamilton. So very, very close indeed between both Mercedes drivers, and it looks very exciting because we have Pierre Gasly coming out of nowhere going into P1, Fernando Alonso in P4. Anything could happen in today's qualifying session. Down in the elimination zone, we have Giovinazzi, Stroll, Tsunoda, Raikkonen, and Mazepin. It's usual suspects other than Lance Stroll, who should be a bit higher up, considering his adaptable driving style is very much suited to wet conditions, but we'll find out what he can do later on into the session, because right now he has just come out for outlap. Next is, the drivers in the pits are Sainz, Ricciardo, Ocon, Leclerc, Alonso, and Gasly. Everyone else is flying around the track, seeing if they can gain any more knowledge, and yeah, alright. We have team ready from George Russell. Let's play this. Here we go.
Is Schumacher a threat to us? Or does it matter about giving him a toe?
He's on a 29.1, he's improved. We'll keep pushing on the way in, we just need max time in the garage.
George Russell's just wondering if he should give Mick Schumacher a tow or not. Well, it's rather important not to give your rivals a tow, but they've just said Mick Schumacher isn't that much of an issue, so you can do whatever you like. There are 2 minutes 50 seconds left of the qualifying session, so of Q1 and then Q3. Well, Q2 will begin and then Q3, of course. Schumacher's time now, he's up in 16th place. But Stroll has successfully got out of the elimination zone, but just barely, up into 14th place now. So Vettel's now down in the elimination zone. The Aston Martin's not having a very good weekend here, unlike last year where they were first and third. Lewis Hamilton's still struggling though with turn 1. As we said, it was very slippy at the start of the session, and it's still proving tricky for Nikita Mazepin, Lewis Hamilton, everyone, because you never know when you're going to hit a little patch of water, and a tiny little patch of water can just spin you around. Also, guys, we are very close to hitting 10k subs. We're only 180 or so, 170 away. So if you guys haven't subscribed, be sure to do so. Very much will help out the channel. And if you haven't hit the like button either, maybe we could hit 150 likes and then 150 more subs, and that would be very, very epic indeed. So, yeah, but back to the qualifying session. Max Verstappen has just set an absolutely blistering lap going up into first place, but then Hamilton has replied, going 4 tenths quicker than Bottas, 4 tenths quicker than Verstappen. So Hamilton finding lots of pace, finally adapted to the conditions and knows where he can and can't push. And he is up into first place, 4.5 tenths ahead of his competition. Amazing lap from Hamilton, and he's done 11 laps on track, which is the most of any driver, so he has gained the most knowledge, of course. Nevertheless, he is a very good driver, so deserves that. We have team radio from Seb Vettel. Let's see what he has to say.
So we're thinking best track conditions at the end, Sebastian, so we're thinking of after this doing effectively keeping it warm and then doing the final push. So a double call. Yeah, so you can do another call, but it'll be on the faster side, but that's okay for tyres. Norris 2 seconds behind pushing.
So, as well, Aston Martin have just said the best track conditions will be right at the end, so everyone is starting their laps now. Vettel, Verstappen, Perez, Vettel, Mick Schumacher, Russell, Gasly, Norris, Leclerc, Ricciardo, and Sainz will be looking to start their laps within the next 13 seconds. Well, everyone started their lap except Sainz. Sainz might be cutting it very, very close. It doesn't matter for him because he's got a grid penalty anyway. Everyone else now is on their final flying lap. We have Pierre Gasly with a purple first sector. He is literally on a rocket ship. I don't know how he's pulling that AlphaTauri with purple sectors quicker than Lewis Hamilton. He goes up into second place, does Pierre Gasly. Hamilton boxes, looking down the timing sheets, everyone is going green, so lots of improvement to be seen. We'll see if Vettel can get out of the elimination zone, but it's looking rather tough because the first sector's proving very tricky for the Aston Martins, both Stroll and Vettel struggling. So next across the line we have Yuki Tsunoda. He crosses the line and stays in he goes up into P6. Wow, what a lap from Tsunoda. I mean, that's come out of nowhere. We'll see what Verstappen can do. Verstappen goes 7 milliseconds behind Lewis Hamilton. 7 milliseconds. So close. So the Red Bulls, Verstappen and Hamilton very much matched on pace. Perez just edges out Bottas and goes up into 4th place. Seb Vettel crosses the line, goes into 12th, is now put down into 13th. Mick Schumacher goes 11th. He might actually get out of Q1 for the first time in a Haas. We'll have to wait and see. George Russell now up into 9th place ahead of his teammate. Leclerc goes up into 4th. Next across the line we have Lando Norris. He's currently in 7th place. Where does he where will he end up? He boxes, in fact. Carlos Sainz, he is just driving around for he's in 9th place. And then we have Fernando Alonso and Pierre Gasly, Danny Rick, who are all boxing. And Daniel Ricciardo is the shock exit of Q1. He is out of Q1 in 16th place. So all of you Australian fans that have stayed up to watch Danny Rick, and we thought he was going so well, but I think the qualifying conditions have just caught him out, and he is out of Q1, starting in 16th place. Yeah, not looking good for Daniel Ricciardo. Mick Schumacher, though, is up in 4th place, quicker than Seb Vettel. Amazing lap from Mick. Nikita Mazepin still down in 20th place, as usual, 3 seconds behind Mick Schumacher. So, once again, our point has been proven that Nikita Mazepin doesn't deserve to be in F1. But we have Mick Schumacher for the first time ever to be in Q2 without sort of causing a crash and getting into Q2 by that way. So, very good job from Mick Schumacher. And yes, I am also telling you guys that Mick Schumacher has outqualified Daniel Ricciardo, and Daniel Ricciardo's in the McLaren and Mick Schumacher's in the Haas. Didn't expect that to happen, did you? All right then. So that has been Q1. Q2 will be starting very, very soon. Everyone that is tuned in, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe, because I'm also streaming tomorrow, so you'll get a notification for that. And yeah, all right. So let's see. How close are we to hitting 10k? We're 150 away. So if you guys haven't subscribed, be sure to do so. Hamilton has got a 10-place grid penalty for getting a new internal combustion engine. So he'll be doing that tomorrow. He'll be getting that grid penalty tomorrow, and he will be starting 10 places down from wherever he is. Yeah, Mick Schumacher is doing what George Russell did, carrying an absolute trash can of a car into Q2. So very, very good indeed. And yeah. So let's see what else we have to talk about. Well, the Aston Martins are struggling a lot. By the looks of it, I don't think it's actually going to rain. So the F1 weathermen are just like, oh yeah, it's going to rain whenever, and it doesn't actually rain. But they said 100% chance of rain, and I guess we got a few raindrops, but that doesn't really count. Not one of the worst car on the grid. Yeah, that's fair enough. Mick Schumacher, amazing lap from him, and he is up in now 14th place. We'll see if he can make it into Q3. If he makes it into Q3, that'll be absolutely epic. And yeah, all right then. We have Daniel Ricciardo team radio. By the way, Daniel Ricciardo got knocked out, so he's going to be rather angry. So just listen to this.
Daniel, we're P16, I'm afraid. We've been eliminated. Box now.
Daniel, pit lane.
Stop in front of the garage.
Oh, Daniel Ricciardo's just decided to say nothing, and you say, I'm just going to say it in the pit lane rather than saying it in real life. So saying it over the radio, sorry, because over the radio, obviously everyone can listen to what he's saying, and I don't think he'll have very many nice things to say, to be completely honest. All right then. So we have Q2 starting in a matter of minutes now. And we'll get the green light for the 15-minute qualifying session to knock out the next 5 slowest drivers. And yeah, it'd be epic if we could get another Saturday quali like a few weeks ago. Imagine Norris P1. Well, yeah, 2 weeks ago we had George Russell in P2, and then in Spa we also had George Russell in P2, and my guy is in a Williams and he's just putting it up into second place. Like, how is he doing that? And I'll tell you how he's doing it is by being an absolutely amazingly talented driver. So maybe tomorrow's rain will cancel the race just like in Spa and Belgium. I don't think it will, because the rain isn't predicted to be too hard. It's just happening overnight as well. So it won't be happening during the race, which will definitely help. All right then. We will see. This is it now. Maybe we'll get some Mick Schumacher team radio to see what he has to say. Unfortunately, I haven't got any that has come through yet, which is rather unfortunate, but I would very much like to see what Mick has to say about making it through. Okay. Yuki Tsunoda's also made it through in P10. He's been struggling for the past few weeks, Yuki, because he hasn't been used to driving in the rain, of course, driving around in Spa, driving around in Russia. Now he's sort of got used to it, and now he can perform like all of the other drivers with some experience in the rain, and it's very, very good indeed. Oh, we have team radio from Mick. All right, let's listen to this. I guess this will just be like a wholesome warning. I'm not exactly sure what it will be.
We are through, Mick. We're through. Okay. Yes! Need to out the time. Nice work, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, well, what else can you say to him? He's just put a hat into 14th place in quali. All right, Q2 has begun. Tracks. Well, the drivers are coming out on track now. We have Hamilton, Gasly, Leclerc out on track. We'll see where the rest are. Norris is out on track as well. And I don't think the track conditions have got any worse or the rain has got any worse. So it will just be a straight fight between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen for the win of the championship, for the pole position. I'm so not on it today. Yeah. All right. So the Red Bulls haven't come out, and neither have George Russell or Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz will not be coming out, so any of you Carlos Sainz or Ferrari fans, he has a 20-place grid penalty because he's got a brand new engine, all new parts, internal combustion engine, MGU-K, MGU-H, and control electronics and all the whole lot basically. So Carlos Sainz will be starting last in tomorrow's race, so that's why he's decided to not go out in qualifying and save some tyres for tomorrow. And yeah, also guys, I haven't said this for like the last, 10 minutes or so, but be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Very much does help out the channel. And yeah, I'm also streaming for tomorrow's race, so be sure to tune in for that. And yeah, all right then, the drivers are all coming out. Green light is out. Everyone is out on track because no one wants to get caught out by any rain randomly occurring. But we have now Lewis Hamilton setting the quickest first sector, quickly stolen away by Valtteri Bottas by about 2 seconds. Looks like Hamilton made a mistake in the first sector. He's having a lot of trouble with turn 1, is Lewis Hamilton. Pierre Gasly goes marginally slower than Valtteri Bottas, and next is Ocon, who's quite far behind, and then we have Stroll, Vettel, and Tsunoda all coming up as well. But track conditions have dried out, and the Mercedes are on the mediums. At least it says, well, no. Hamilton's on the mediums. This is wrong. I don't know why it's wrong. And Max Verstappen's also on the mediums. Okay, I need to sort of fix this because drivers are going out on different tyres to... Let's see. You're going to show me the correct tyres. Okay, they're not. So I'm going to have to let you guys know. Verstappen and Hamilton both on medium tyres. And they are, they're squirreling around for grip, because the medium tyres need extra tyre temperature, especially when they're on wet conditions, and it's very difficult to get this tyre temperature. But tomorrow's race, they'll be starting on these tyres. Oh, the official F1 tyre thing is broken, so that's why this is broken as well. The TV feed says everyone's on 0 tyres, they just don't have a tyre. All right.
So it should be configured for consecutive laps.
Okay, so Hamilton's car has been set up so he'll do 1 lap and then he'll do a cool down and then another lap. So he's got extra fuel in the car, so that's why he's slightly slower. Valtteri Bottas goes P1 by a healthy margin, 0.5 of a second quicker than Fernando Alonso. Hamilton down in 7th place. Looks like he's doing a double warm-up because he's on the mediums. We'll see what Verstappen's strategy is as well. Both cars are going to have to do their absolute best to try and... Well, both drivers are going to have to do their absolute best to get as much tyre temperature as possible without wearing the tyre out. A very tricky balance indeed. Perez has spun by the looks... I think Perez has spun. Well, you guys are telling me Perez has spun, so I think he's spun. But he'll probably recover. He's not, I don't think he's crashed by the looks of it because he's still out on track. So Perez looks like he's doing all right. Thanks for doing these. I'm away and I can't watch these. You come in clutch, bro. Well, no worries. Amel420. Do appreciate the support. So yeah, Hamilton reaching speeds up to 100 and 300 kilometers an hour, very, very fast indeed going down the straight, and 6 Gs of braking force. Wow, Verstappen sets a purple first sector on medium tyres. Well, Verstappen has definitely got some electric pace today, because on those medium tyres, which are 6/10 slower than the soft tyres over the course of a lap, he has now gone quicker than Valtteri Bottas then. So, very good job from Max Verstappen. We'll see what he brings to the session with those mediums tyres. That's his second sector is also purple, so Max Verstappen is just absolutely flying, man on a mission to try and get pole position on these medium tyres. He had a bit, Sergio Perez had a snap of oversteer and then overcorrected and went into the gravel, but by the looks of it, there's no damage on his car, just his tyres have been flat spotted, and he was on those mediums as well, so hard luck for Sergio Perez. No damage though. We have team radio from George Russell. Let's listen to this.
Dash will want no faster than -0.7, and they give you an update out of 10. Push, so set go out. You understand the message?
Yeah, I understand. I think we're overthinking it.
Yeah, Roger.
Let's just go for it.
Yep, George Russell has been told to maintain deltas and stuff, and he was like, I think we should just push. So that's what they've done. George Russell now is, he's come into the pits to get some extra fuel, and then he'll go out and push. But in the meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton goes 4/10 quicker than Max Verstappen. So Max Verstappen, we thought, had amazing pace on those mediums, but Lewis Hamilton has just come and beat him by 0.4 of a second again. So that Mercedes is looking very, very strong this weekend. Even though he's going to be starting in 11th place, it's going to be very, very tough to hold him behind. Alright, so he goes 1 minute 23.5 for Lewis Hamilton. We'll see if he has any more improvements in the tank. But I think he will, because Fernando Alonso in the Alpine is just at a purple first sector. So track conditions improving rapidly. By the looks of it, all rain has stopped, and all the drivers are pushing now, and the track is drying up very, very quickly indeed. So Alonso, purple first sector. We'll see what he does in the second sector now. But very good job indeed from Fernando Alonso. Purple first sector is very good. All right then. So Max Verstappen is boxed. He's going to get some extra fuel in the car. But by the looks of it, the only thing they need to do is get out into Q3. So those lap times will probably be enough for Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen to get through. Alright guys, I'm back. I accidentally muted my microphone because I'm a very professional commentator. Alright, so Gasly 2023 Red Bull, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Red Bull are going to sign him up. I think someone else will sign him up, but we'll have to wait and see what actually happens. What tyres is Max using? Max is on the medium tyres, so is Pierre Gasly as well. So the AlphaTauri is taking a very aggressive strategy, going on the medium tyres in qualifying today, and yeah, 6/10 slower is Pierre Gasly than everyone else, but in fact, we've got team radio from him, so let's just play that.
Okay, yeah, it's a very good lap. It's ISO to Alonso, sector 1 purple, ISO to Alonso. So we're up there with these guys. Box.
Yep, so just an amazing lap, and he is just slightly behind Alonso because his first sector wasn't good enough. It wasn't. It was good. It was a good first sector, but Alonso's was even better. Lewis Hamilton says it takes too long to get tyre temperature, and we have a yellow flag on track. Oh no, we're back. Never mind. Lewis Hamilton was saying we have. There's not enough. Well, it takes too long to get tyre temperature. So, Lewis Hamilton having a tough time with those medium tyres, of course. Oh, White Point has also donated. Thank you for the donation. Go George. Well, George, where is he now? He's in 14th place. He's now outsetting a lap. Currently on his out lap. We'll see if he gets sufficient tyre temperature and can set a good lap. But very good job indeed from George Russell. I mean, getting into Q2 is a tough job alone in that Williams, but he does this every week. So we'll see if he can do that get it into Q3 as well, and maybe score some points this weekend. Mixed pace has also been very, very good indeed. So we have Russell, Vettel, Stroll, and Mick all starting a lap. Well, right now. And yeah, so here we go then. I'll take you through George Russell's lap, in fact. So going into turn 3, it's a very tricky, tight corner, and then turn 4 opens up on the exit, so you can get on the power very, very early. Going into turn 7, though, it's a very tricky corner, lots of overtaking opportunities. There's Lando Norris, which might get in the way. Lando Norris gets out of the way, in fact, so it's good team info from the McLaren pit wall. George Russell now going to turn 8, very tough corner, especially in these wet conditions. You must be on the exact perfect line if you want to make it through. Charles Leclerc had a spin at the final corner, probably pushing a bit too hard. We have team radio from him, in fact. Let's just listen to this. Here we go.
I'm struggling with those mediums with these downforce, guys.
Yep, so Charles Leclerc was on the mediums, and he could just not go quick enough, and then he went over the limit and then spun. Looks like he didn't have enough mechanical grip, and then obviously at slow speed the aero doesn't help out much, and yeah, just had a little spin at the final corner. Otherwise would have had a fairly alright lap. Sort of threw that away, but we have Max Verstappen, purple first sector. We've seen that before with Fernando Alonso. Can he carry that pace through into the second sector, going down the back straight now, up into turn 9? We'll see what he can do. His middle sector is only green, exactly like Fernando Alonso. We'll see if he can improve, though. Valtteri Bottas has just slipped under the radar and gone into second place. So Mercedes looking very quick indeed, considering both Mercedes are ahead of both Red Bulls. Usually it's Hamilton, Verstappen, and Bottas, Perez, but not this weekend because the Mercedes looks like they're on top. But can Max Verstappen change that? No, he cannot. His third sector was rather horrible. A lot slower than Valtteri Bottas, half a second slower, if only in the third sector. Looked like he might have made a bit of a mistake in the final 3 corners. Very tight, twisty section, and yeah. All right, then next across the line is Valtteri Bottas. He'll be starting his lap. Hamilton is also starting his lap. Leclerc, after his spin, once again starting a lap. So everyone's starting their laps now. 2 minutes 10 seconds left of the session to go. Q3 hasn't finished. It is Q2 right now, and then Q3 will be underway probably in 5 minutes or so. All right, then Alonso sets another purple first sector. So, in fact, Perez has just gone quicker than Verstappen. So, Perez definitely found some pace in the Red Bull finally. But Verstappen is struggling by the looks of it. Significant chunk slower than his teammate. We'll see what Alonso can do now. Purple first sector. Can he carry that pace through? By the looks of it, he has a toe off his teammate as well. Esteban Ocon is giving Fernando Alonso a slight toe going down the back straight. Still a green middle sector, not purple. So looks like we're not going to have a surprise qualifying pole from Fernando Alonso today. We have team radio from Seb Vettel. Let's play this. Here we go.
It's still rear as we want, as much rear as you can get.
Yep, so they're just talking about tire temperature, as much tire temperature as they can get. Sergio Perez, I think he might go on to softs now. Oh yeah, that might be why. Sergio Perez on softs and Max Verstappen's on mediums. And I can confirm Max Verstappen made a mistake into the third to last corner, had a bit of a lock-up, and then that ruined his entry into the chicane, which messed up his final lap. And yeah, that 5/10 down. Hamilton once again improves on his lap time, and he goes up into first place. Gasly, once again, amazing performance from him. He's up into third, but Hamilton is on another level today. 7/10 quicker than his teammate. Usually he's only like 2 or 3 tenths quicker than Bottas. 7/10, double, triple nearly. Alonso's in P4, Gasly's in P3. Yeah. Also, guys, in the chat, can you just reduce the spam? Like, you can send the message once, and I think I'll still see it. So, yeah, don't spam too much. All right, we'll see what I mean, to be honest, this is Q2, not Q3, so it doesn't exactly matter where you finish up in the session. As long as you're in the top 10, it doesn't particularly matter. Mick Schumacher hasn't been able to get through. Carlos Sainz hasn't bothered because he needs to save those tyres. And yeah, Lewis is definitely... That brand new engine is definitely helping out. We have team radio from Stroll. Let's see what he has to say. And yeah, that is it then. Seb Vettel, I think, has made it through just out the elimination zone. I'll just double check on that.
Oops, yeah, mistake.
Yeah, so they're just complaining about understeer is Lance Stroll. But Seb Vettel in 10th place, right on the cusp of the elimination zone. Bottas improves, only now 5/10 slower than Hamilton, but still 5/10 massive margin to your teammate. Vettel now down into 11th. Can he improve that? He's currently on a flying lap, I think, somewhere on the track. Yep, in the middle sector. And then we have Lando Norris in 10th. Can he also... Otherwise, it would be a McLaren... Not a single McLaren gets it through into Q3, which will be a rather rare occurrence because they've been on the up since 2018. Every single race they've been improving. So not a standout weekend for McLaren, especially with their championship battle against Ferrari for 3rd place. That's 6 million at stake between 3rd and 4th place there. So McLaren will desperately want to get it 3rd place. Yeah. Alright, we have... So that is it then. The elimination zone is Seb Vettel, Esteban Ocon, George Russell, Mick Schumacher, and Carlos Sainz. And that has been Q2 for you guys. So Yuki Tsunoda makes it through into Q3 after a long time. So good job from him to make it through. The checkered flag is out, and the drivers eliminated: Vettel, Ocon, Russell, Schumacher, and Sainz. And then we have another 2-3 minutes till Q3 begins. And yeah, all right, guys. We'll see if we've hit 10k because I've seen a lot of you subscribing. We're 102 subscribers away from 10k. If you guys haven't liked and subscribed, be sure to do so. I stream every single week, so it will very much help out the channel. And the links to my Instagram and Twitter are in the description, so be sure to go follow them. Back to qualifying though, Yuki Tsunoda, it's been a very long time since he's been in Q3, and it's just a very good job overall for him to finally make it through. Had a pretty horrid mid-season, the rookie, so it's good that he's back on form. And looking further down the field, the Alpine's looking very strong. Alonso's looking very strong because Alonso, outstanding driver in Alpine, and he is up in P5 when his teammate is down in 12th place. So 7 place gap between the drivers. Very, very big indeed. And the time gap as well between the two drivers, nearly 9/10 of a second. Alonso is 9/10 quicker than Esteban Ocon. So yeah, Fernando Alonso, very quick today, and we'll see if he can continue that pace into Q3. But by the looks of it, my predictions for the top 3 is going to be Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas. Yeah, just the usual Ham-Ver-Bot that we always get. But the Mercedes and the Red Bulls just look so strong that I don't think Pierre Gasly or Fernando Alonso stand a chance. George Russell was actually on a very good lap, in fact, and he was just fighting his way through the final corner and got a tank slapper and just completely lost all of the time that he had gained throughout the rest of the lap. So George Russell, very unfortunate for him, but you know, it is what it is, and hopefully he can get some points in tomorrow's race. Starting in 13th place, he'll have his free choice of tires. So Vettel, Ocon, and Russell, free choice of tires for them, and everyone below them, of course. But Vettel, Ocon, and Russell will be in the most potent positions to utilize that advantage. And yeah. All right then. this is it. George Russell, very unfortunate for him. But the vortexes, oh my god. If you guys are watching the real life feed, I'll try and get some images up later. But the vortexes, they look so cool. You can see all of the aero work like doing its job. All of the air like moving in the correct direction. Oh, I can show you in fact right here. Oops. Here you go. Can you right? So if you see this little vortex coming off the edge of the wing, I think that's called like an end plate vortex basically, and that's just the aero doing its job basically perfectly. The smaller this is, like the more of a straight line it is, very good job the aero's doing. So amazing aero from AlphaTauri. Kronos, you've donated another 10. Wow. Thank you so much. Very much do appreciate all of the support. Yeah, I guess it will just go to a new PC for streaming. I'm not sure. Because currently I'm streaming off my laptop, and my laptop isn't the most powerful thing in the world. Its fans are currently blowing at max. Oh, it's not exactly max, but it's pretty loud, like I can hear it. You guys can't hear it because the mic we've got is very, very cool indeed. Well, Cronus, we're very close to 10k, so maybe you can save the rest of your bet for when we hit 10k tomorrow. Yeah, alright. So, looking at the rest of this, can I have a shout out? Links YT. Well, I guess that's your shout out because I don't know anything about your YouTube channel. George ended up in the gravel at some point in Q2. Yep. On the final corner, he completely lost it. Just got so much oversteer. Was fighting on the track all the way to the end. And then got on the gravel and the concrete runoff. So, yeah. I am streaming tomorrow for the race. And, yeah. Hello, Ruben! ! Alright. So, Q3 will be starting very, very soon. 12 minutes of qualifying. Everyone will have 2 laps or so. Mick Schumacher looks very happy in the Haas garage, while hugging and congratulating everyone around, all of his mechanics and everything, because, well, they finally did it. They've got into Q2 with an amazing lap. We'll have a look. Anthony Davidson's currently going through it on the SkyPad now of what he did, Mick, but his lap was just so perfect. He had a bit of an issue. He had a few mistakes in the previous laps, but then after that he had learned from the mistakes and then continued and just improved more and more. Kronos, Kronos 3000, there's Q3 left. There's still 12 minutes left. I don't know if you realized, but I will be streaming tomorrow anyway, so yeah. Top 10 will start on the medium compounds tyres tomorrow if the race is dry, other than Yuki Tsunoda. So everyone other than Yuki Tsunoda made it through into Q3 on the medium tyres. And it's his first Q3 since Austria, so a very long time ago for Yuki Tsunoda. Alright then, so here we go. Q3 has begun. And yeah, it's going to be very, very close battle between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. We'll see what happens. And also, guys, if you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. Very much will help out the channel. And now we're only 70 subscribers away from hitting 10k. So close. So, yeah, there's 1,600 of you watching. If you aren't subscribed, would very much mean a lot if you did. Currently, Mick is the best contender. Yuki didn't perform at the level, and considering Gasly's, so actually we have to talk about the Alfa Romeo seat. It's Alfa Romeo's second seat. We don't know who's going to go there. Apparently, it's going to be, I think it's Cohen's Hertzer or something. I'm not exactly sure what his name is. I just saw it on like a news title or something. But the cars are ready to come out now. Hamilton is out on track. So's Bottas, Leclerc, Tsunoda, Gasly, Norris, Perez, and Stroll. Only drivers that are not out just yet are Verstappen and, well, it's just Verstappen, in fact. Alonso's come out. So everyone's come out now. Alonso and Verstappen have also come out. It's the top 10 shootout for qualifying 3. And, yeah. Oh, Kronos 2000, you have work. Cool. No worries. Well, I'll see you tomorrow then. Okay, so there is now 9 minutes remaining of the session. Hamilton is on his first flying lap. He sets a 31 dead on his first sector, and Bottas immediately beats that by 3/10 in the first sector. Hamilton now going through turn 8, looks basically flat throughout the entire corner. So a lot of performance that he has gained. Well, the track has gained a lot of performance over the entire course of this qualifying session. Now going down the back straight, he'll be activating DRS because DRS is re-enabled again. He sets a purple middle sector. We'll see what Valtteri Bottas can do, but Valtteri Bottas he has a green middle sector. He's only marginally slower than Lewis Hamilton though, so it's all about this final sector. If Lewis Hamilton, whoever nails it the best, will have provisional pole position unless Max Verstappen can deny them of that. So we have Lewis Hamilton crosses the line now with a 1 minute 23.09. Next is Valtteri Bottas. He goes quicker than him by 22 milliseconds. Amazing job from Valtteri Bottas. Hello, Multi Ninja. Unfortunately, Daniel Ricciardo's out in 16th place. Sorry to tell you that. Because I think he just missed out because of the rain. But here we are. So Max Verstappen sets a green first sector, 2/10 slower than Bottas. His middle sector is again 2/10 slower than Bottas. Oh no, he hasn't finished the middle sector. Never mind. I was looking at the wrong one. So Verstappen's middle sector, let's see what it is. It is only a 10th slower than Bottas. So we'll see where Verstappen finally goes up. But Bottas, all of his practice from last year and all of his mistakes and difficulty driving the car, have all of the practice he did after that definitely paid off, and he's up in provisional pole for now unless Max Verstappen can deny him. The Dutchman now crosses the line and he goes up into 3rd place, 2/10 behind Valtteri Bottas and behind Lewis Hamilton as well. So in 3rd place, so it's front row lockout for Mercedes unless Max Verstappen can deny them of it. So we have team radio from Max Verstappen. Let's listen to this.
Decent amount of field spread here, Max. They're not expecting to hold on too much at the 12, 13, 14.
All right, so they're just saying that there's very little chance of there being traffic. So yeah. But the gap between the two Mercedes drivers, 22 milliseconds, very, very close indeed. And for Hamilton, guys, every position does count, as Charleston Lowe has said, because he'll have a 10-place grid penalty, and every position that he doesn't get today in qualifying, he'll have to make an overtake in tomorrow's race. And overtaking in F1 is a lot harder than it seems and than it should be. Than it will be next year as well. Next year we'll have very easy overtaking. But yeah, am I the only one who feels like Red Bull is the only team to have a team owner as an engineer? Christian Horner isn't exactly an engineer. He raced in Formula 1. He raced in Formula 3, in fact. And he was going to be a driver, but obviously wasn't quick enough. So he's now the team principal. So I don't know. I think Toto Wolff also did some racing before. So I think all of the team managers either have some engineering or racing backgrounds. Okay, so 6 minutes remaining now. On provisional pole is Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton in 2nd. And then we have Max Verstappen 2/10 behind Hamilton and Gasly 2/10 behind him. So quite a big field spread between 1st and 10th place. We have almost a 2 seconds gap between the two drivers. We're very close to 10k subs. We'll see if we can hit it. How close are we now? We are 66 subs away. Oh no, 56 subs away. I can't even do maths. Also, guys, we're 17 likes away from hitting 300, so if we could do that, that would be epic. And alright, we have team radio from Lewis Hamilton. We'll see what he has to say about his lap.
Let us know what you think about a 3-lap run.
Tyres are great first lap.
Okay, copy.
Yep, so they're just talking about if they should go for a 3-lap run, which is basically unheard of in Formula 1. Usually you go 1 lap and then come back in, or you go for a double lap because you want to just have some extra like weight in the car in the first lap and just be safe and actually get 2 laps in and some experience. But 3 laps is very much unheard of, so we'll see what strategy they decide to go with. Thank you for the support, Archipelago 23, and T's Life. How is Gasly in front of Perez? I think it's all a conspiracy theory, you know? Pierre Gasly is actually in the Red Bull and Sergio Perez is actually in the AlphaTauri. And because they're both white this weekend with the white liveries, you'll never know. Yeah. Oh, hello, MCTG. Yeah, so we've got MCTG, Multi Ninja, Kies. We've got quite a lot of regular fans, in fact. So this is it now. 4 minutes remaining. Hamilton is the first driver to come out. He will be going for a 2 or 3 lap run. I think he's going for a 2 lap run, considering he's only got 4 minutes left of the session. Nevertheless, here we go then. Poll for poll predictions. Sure, we'll make a poll. We'll just do who will get pole position, and then we'll say Hamilton. I don't even have enough time. Ham, the bot, or other. Right, you guys can vote in the poll when it comes through. It'll come through in a second or two. Alright then, we have Leclerc and Tsunoda are also out on track. 3 minutes and 16 seconds left of the session. Hamilton is out on a fresh set of softs, an open track, completely empty track for him. In fact, only Tsunoda and Leclerc out there, and they won't be getting in his way whatsoever. All right. Next up is Pierre Gasly. He's out of the track. He's out on track as well now. Lewis Hamilton looks like he's going for a double or a triple warm-up. Who knows what strategy Mercedes are playing at to try and get this pole position, because it's going to be very important for him, because he needs to get every position he can gain, Lewis Hamilton, to try and get pole. Well, to try and win the race tomorrow, because he's going to have to hold off Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen's going to have a very big advantage indeed. So, purple first and second sector for Lewis Hamilton. He crosses the line. Doesn't have a great middle sector. Might have been held up by someone, but goes into 1 minute 22.8. So, 2 tenths quicker than his previous lap. And yeah, 2 tenths quicker. And we'll see what Bottas and Verstappen have to reply in a matter of minutes now. 2 minutes remaining of the session. And yeah. Can you play Supermax if he gets pole? Well, if Max Verstappen does get pole, I will play Supermax. Well, let's see what your guys' predictions are. So 37% of you thinks Hamilton's going to get pole, 28% Verstappen, 24% Bottas, and 11% of you think other. Well, the 11% of you that have voted other, very, very bold predictions of you. Doesn't look like that's going to happen, but who knows? This is Formula 1 after all. It's happening live. We have Team Radio from Yuki Tsunoda. Let's play this.
There is nobody behind. Tires are good. Brakes are good. All fine.
Okay, so everything's looking good for Tsunoda, and this is it now. The final minute of qualifying. Sergio Perez is the first one to lead off the train. Then we have Verstappen, Norris, Alonso, Bottas, Stroll, and then Tsunoda, Hamilton, and Leclerc coming up the rear. So, here we go then. Pierre Gasly, purple first sector. Amazing job from him. We'll see if he can carry that pace through. We've seen loads of people set purple first sectors, but just been unable to carry the pace onwards throughout the rest of the lap. Second sector, quite a lot slower than the rest of the competition for Pierre Gasly, but we'll see what he can do. Maybe he does get that surprise pole position that you guys have predicted. Coming into the final corner now, just wrestling the car around the final 3 corners, very slow indeed, and you need to make sure to not get any wheel spin, otherwise you will ruin your exit onto the main straight. And he goes up into 4th place. He improves his lap time, but does not go up a position. He is only 28 milliseconds behind Verstappen, but still does not gain a position. So he's in a 4th place. He was in 4th place last year as well. So we'll see what happens there. Hamilton sets another first sector, which is purple. We have the Perez now crossing the line. He needs to get a move on and needs to score some points for Red Bull. He now is in 5th place, does not go ahead of Pierre Gasly. In fact, 4/10 behind Pierre Gasly. So, horrific lap from Perez. Verstappen crosses the line. He goes up into... Well, he stays in 3rd place again. So, no improvement from him. Norris in 7th place. The McLaren's not having the pace that they had in previous weekends. Alonso goes up into 5th. Very good job from him. We'll see what he does tomorrow in terms of his race starts, because we all know he has electric race starts. Valtteri Bottas improves, but is not enough to topple Lewis Hamilton's 1 minute 22.8 lap time, I think. And Hamilton now comes across the line, doesn't improve, had a mistake in the middle sector, but he is still on pole position unless Charles Leclerc, Yuki Tsunoda can deny him. Leclerc goes up into 4th place, so knocks Pierre Gasly out of the position he was last year. So very good job from the Ferrari, especially with the new engine that they've got. And next across the line is Yuki Tsunoda. He goes into the pits, I think, because he made 2 mistakes on his lap, so he's decided to abort the lap, and that has been it, guys. That is qualifying for today's Grand Prix. Well, no, that has been qualifying for the Turkish Grand Prix. That's what I meant to say. We are now 44. We're 44 subscribers away from hitting 10k. 34 subscribers from hitting 10k. So if you could hit that would be very cool. But everyone that's watched, thank you so much. Very much do appreciate it. And I'm streaming tomorrow as well for the race. So I look forward to watching that, especially the battle at the front between Bottas and Verstappen. If Bottas will actually put up as a difficult fight against Verstappen, or will Verstappen will just run away with it, and we'll definitely have to watch Hamilton make his way through the field, starting in 11th place now, instead of pole position. We have team radio from Max Verstappen. Let's listen to this. Here we go.
Okay, Hamilton, 2nd set, first time lap, 22.8.
Yeah, so there was no... Verstappen just could not get any quicker than that. So the Mercedes is just looking very quick this weekend, and Bottas matching Hamilton's pace as well. We have team radio from Lewis Hamilton, and let's listen to this. Here we go.
Beautiful work, Lewis. It's P1. You go to Valtteri P2. Well executed qualifying there.
Are we done?
We're done.
Great work, lads.
Oh, also, guys, this has been the first ever 1-2, I think, in like a very long time. Oh, Bottas is technically on pole position because Hamilton's got the penalty. So I don't know if it counts as a 1-2, but it's the first 1-2 Mercedes have got in a very long time. Even though it technically doesn't count as a 1-2, they are still first and second in the qualifying standings in terms of lap time. And yeah, the pole belongs to Valtteri Bottas, who will get the Pirelli pole position award or something. But Max Verstappen does miss out on pole position, but he's still starting 2nd place on the race alongside Valtteri Bottas, and we'll see what he can do. It's only a short run down into turn 1, 120 meters, and it's all to play for. If Verstappen gets a better start, then there'll be no challenging him throughout the rest of the race, because Verstappen will just run away with it. But this is it then. I think Hamilton doesn't get the pole position, so Hamilton's still on 101 poles, I think. I think he's on 91 poles, but 100 race wins. But anyway, left side start of the grid for Max. That's good, because that's a left-hander first. Yeah, Max Verstappen will have the inside line, so if he's like side by side with Valtteri Bottas, then he'll definitely have an advantage going into the corner. And yeah, but that also means he'll be on the dirty side of the grid as well. So yeah, all right, then we have Lewis Hamilton, who is fastest, but we have Valtteri Bottas on pole position. So that has been qualifying today. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. We'll see if we've hit 10k. We are Nope, we're 25 subscribers away. Well, if we don't hit it today, we'll hit it tomorrow. So, totally fine. And what's happening to Checo? I think the Red Bull is tricky to drive, but then the wet conditions just makes it so much worse. So, very tough job for Sergio Perez to complete, really. But yeah, so that has been it, guys. Today's qualifying session. And I think Kronos 3000 lost the bet. Oh no, I lost the bet. Because, well, I don't know. But anyway, Kronos 3000 doesn't need to donate another $10 Australian. But that has been it. The Mercedes, P1, P2, and Max Verstappen in third position. Shocks of today. Well, Danny Rick in 16th place. Very unfortunate for him. And Mick Schumacher getting through into Q2. Very, very good indeed. What's the clean side at the start? The odd numbers are the clean side, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Odd numbers are the clean side of the grid. And also you have to remember that Hamilton will go down into 11th place. So Bottas is technically in P1 and Verstappen's technically in P2, which means Verstappen will be on the dirty side of the grid because that's the even number. All right, how do you donate here? It's the dollar sign underneath the chat button. Underneath where it says chat publicly as whatever your username is. There's a dollar sign and then you can donate there. I might actually set up a Patreon, in fact, because YouTube takes quite a big cut of the donations. So, yeah, well, I'll think about that. And maybe if we hit 10k, then we can do that. But, yeah. The beginning was quite tricky with... So, Max Verstappen, we've got a quote from him. He says, the beginning was quite tricky with the conditions, but compared to yesterday... we managed to turn it around quite well. Overall, a decent recovery compared to yesterday because, well, yesterday they were struggling a lot. The Red Bulls were having a very tough time. Lots of understeer. I was watching the practice sessions, and yeah, set up a Patreon and a Bitcoin option. All right. Okay. So let's see then. I think this is Schumacher's highest ever career starting position. He'll be starting in 14th place, which is his highest ever in Formula 1 because he was in 15th in France, but yeah, 15th is lower than 14th, so I guess that's fair enough. And I see a lot of you guys are subscribing. No, only 12 people. I might actually just stay on stream and we'll hit 10k on stream, which would be very cool. But yeah. Anyway, so we've got a quote from Valtteri Bottas, who has said, "It was quite a good quali. Was some good lap. Oh, it was a good quali. Was some good laps. Last lap I got some understeer, but other than that I enjoyed it. I'll focus on my own race tomorrow, I think." So Valtteri Bottas has already said, well, he's going to focus on his own race. So what does that mean? Does that mean that he's just going to let Verstappen just drive past him, going into turn 1? And then he'll be like, yeah, just take the race win, you know? Yeah, it's really hard to donate from Myanmar. Total banking collapse here, lol, but can do Bitcoin at Green. Okay, cool. Well, I might. Well, I don't know if you can set up Bitcoin on Patreon, but I'll definitely think about setting up a Patreon. 7 subscribers now. Sure. I might as well just stay on stream. We'll have a quote coming through from Lewis Hamilton as well. So here we go. The track was completely different. The track is totally awesome with the grip levels it's giving us. Great job by the teams. Very impressed with their performance. Tomorrow will be difficult, but I'll give it everything. Not the easiest overtaking, and we're on the same tyres as well. Hopefully we can give the fans a good race. Yes, so how is the Istanbul circuit for overtaking? Well, you have turn 1, turn 7, and then the final triple chicane at the end of the lap. Those are the 3 overtaking opportunities that you have at Istanbul Park. And yeah, well, Hamilton is going to be starting on the medium tyres tomorrow, and everyone else will also be on the mediums in front of him. So we'll have Vettel in on the softs, I think, and then everyone else in front of him. Oh, Vettel and Tsunoda will be on the softs, and everyone else will be on the mediums. So Hamilton won't have a tyre advantage either, which will make it rather difficult for him to try and overtake. Obviously, he has the pace advantage in the Mercedes, but the dirty air hurts the Mercedes a lot because the car has been designed as if they're always at the front of the grid. But when it comes to overtaking, you're obviously not at the front of the grid. You have quite a lot of dirty air. A front row start for Max Verstappen tomorrow, and all 4 cars from the Honda are in the top 10. So it's Honda's like farewell weekend, and yeah, he didn't clear Q2. We are 3 subs away from hitting 10k. Cool. I'm just gonna take a screenshot of my phone when I hit it. And yeah, I don't know why the 10k sub goal on stream doesn't work properly, but anyway, talking about the rest of it, Mick Schumacher. Oh, we don't know actually what tyres Vettel will be on. Vettel will probably be on the mediums, in fact, so it'll just be Tsunoda on the softs. And then looking further down the field, Kimi Räikkönen was a significant chunk off Antonio Giovinazzi. So show the sub count. Oh, I can actually do that, can't I? Oh no. Right. I don't know if it'll work because my laptop is not the best. But I guess I could try. Oh, we've just hit it. We've just hit it. Cool. I need to go over to the live stream menu because I can't see what's going on in the chat if I don't have the live stream menu open. Okay. Well, we have hit 10k, I think, by the looks of it. I think lots of you were waiting to be the 10,000th subscriber. So, thank you for all of the support, guys. Hit 10k. And yeah, appreciate it. All right then. I think I can bring it up. Show live sub count. Is that what we're really gonna do? Is that gonna? Oh my! It's lagging so much. There we go. 10k. There we go. Sick. Cool. Okay then. Well, that's been a lovely stream. We're on 10,900, but yeah. Also, guys, there are links to my Instagram and Twitter and Discord in the description. So if you do want to subscribe to that, follow them, then be sure to do so. Post memes and stuff. I think the memes are quite funny. Yeah, and I guess all of you guys are also like the subscribers before 10k. So if this channel does blow up and we get to like 1 million or something, you can always type in the comments like, I was here before 10k, look at me, I'm so cool. But yeah, so that has been an amazing stream, guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the race. Yeah. Right then, so have a nice morning, afternoon, day, evening, night, depending on where you are in the world. And I'll see you tomorrow.